Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of our Business Breakthrough Google Hangout. This is our weekly online show. We run it every Tuesday. Sorry, Tuesday. What am I thinking? Every Monday at 2 o'clock. I think 2 o'clock and Tuesday sound similar. So anyways, a little bit of a Freudian slip there. 2 o'clock on Mondays. And I'm really excited to have some time to avail myself to you and show you what true business acceleration looks like and what accelerated teaching and learning look like, and combined why our clients get the kind of results that they're really after. So I want to welcome you to our show. You should have a cup of coffee with you. It's also good to have your Brita filter water bottle here to make sure that you stay well hydrated. And make sure that you've got pen, markers, because it's always really important to be able to activate your subconscious minds. And we've created a really cool system, all predicated on a speed to market principle called known as writing is the doing part of thinking. It's the quickest way to activate your subconscious minds and to really build a company that you can scale, grow, and at the same time leverage a more intelligent business model, which is what I'm teaching on our Business Breakthrough Google Hangout, so that you can have the kind of lifestyle business that you're really after. So today we're going to discuss a faster way to create your own events, a faster way to create your own events. And I want to take a look at a system that we've used and leveraged, and also my clients have, my Omega Mind clients. And this is a really cool way of building and creating and commanding premium prices for your highest end programs and services. Now, just like everything that I teach and everything that I do, I want to flip the whole concept of doing an event on its heels, or I want to flip the business model that most people use. And I'm going to today going to be in and out a little bit. I'm going to be showing you some pictures to help us progress through the training that I'm going to provide you this day. As well, I'm going to, I've got a number of things here that I want to show you here on my desk. So I want you to be prepared. And over the next 30 minutes here, we're going to be leveraging some speed to market concepts, all right? Because we all want to be the fast fish, right? Because as you know, in the advisory age, or if we backtrack just for a second, the information age, which we've long accelerated out of, and yet very few people, very few entrepreneurs and business owners really understand the day and age in which we live. And if you understand that we don't live in the information age anymore, where it was the big that ate the small, or the big fish that beat the small fish. Today, it's all about, in the advisory age, the advisory era in which we live, it's about the fast fish that consume the slow fish, all right? So I want to talk to you today about creating your own events. It's not going to be like you probably expect, so I just want to give you a heads up. And secondly, I want you to understand that everything that I'm teaching is to help you create the financial, increase the financial power of your advice. Make it, in other words, make yourself more valuable. Because when you become a lot more valuable, you become a lot more influential. And when you're a lot more influential, it's a lot easier to close deals, like I was sharing on our boot camp last night on our Breakthrough Executive Summary Formula. In today's marketplace, and really leveraging the era in which we live, which is the advisory age, you want to be a lot more strategic in your thinking, your focus, and in your execution, all right? So I want to help us get started here, and make sure I don't spill my coffee here, which is a good thing. And I want to move forward here. So we're going to talk today, and I want to spend a little bit of time here just bringing you, reminding you of a couple of things, all right? So I've disappeared here for a second because I want you to think of all the top seminar producers that you can think of. Maybe just think of 2 or 3 names that have built at least a 7, maybe an 8-figure business around seminars and conferences. And what they usually have, and all of them have, is they have a huge marketing arm that reaches into each city with all kinds of people that go before them to promote. They have all kinds of people that have to show up to help them organize. They have all kinds of people on staff to help them manage. Just this huge convoluted business funnel, if you will, managing people to produce events. And what I want to show you today is that I'm totally against the concept of you and of entrepreneurs producing events. Sure, there are a few people that are still successful. However, people today don't want conferences. They don't want to necessarily go to business events. They want to go to something else, and we're going to talk about that. So I want to show you a system where you don't have to spend all the money and all the time and all the effort that seminar producers do. So if you think of, one or two people that you deem successful in this industry, you don't have to incur the cost or the risk that they're doing. And the key here is to create a self-selection process. A self-selection process that always allows you to attract your premium priced clients. All right? And those premium priced clients are going to be interested in your coaching, or you as an expert, or you as an advisor in today's marketplace. And more importantly, what I'm going to show you is how to become the coach's coach, the expert's expert, or the advisor's advisor, and do what I've done. Okay? And that's really, really, really important. Why? Not because I'm smarter than you. Definitely, probably not. The clients that I attract are, I can categorically say their IQ is better than mine. They speak better than I do. Most of them look better than I do. I don't know how I do it. Well, I do. I just believe that you need to be excellent in the presence of others. You don't need to be perfect. I'm certainly not perfect, but you need to be excellent, and you've got to have excellent advice. And if you follow what I've been able to do, and that is going totally against what all the experts and gurus are teaching today about building long, convoluted business funnels, hiring copywriters, doing activities that are simply killing your momentum. And how do I see this and know this? I have clients coming to us that have been, spending years and years and years hiring out other people, following other systems, creating programs and services, trying to do their own events. And all they're doing today is just becoming more and more disenfranchised with their own dreams. So I want to put an end to that. And I want you to understand that you've got to have a self-selection process. You've got to have a vetting process, all right, for every single system. And because we're talking about events today, I want to show you a really cool model that we've created, and that's working so fantastically well with my clients that they're putting theirs together. We're going to call them intensives, and they're putting them together in as little as a week to 2 weeks, and with conversion rates that are close to 100%. So I want to show you and talk to you about the power of this, especially because it's so important that you understand that the event model and the business conference model doesn't work as well anymore. It certainly doesn't work as well as the information age. And in the advisory age, you've got to totally rethink how you're bringing people together. All right? So I'm going to disappear here just for a second and show you a book. It's a short story. It's an ebook. You can get it. I'll give you a good URL very shortly to get Acres of Diamonds by Russell Conwell. Acres of Diamonds by Russell Conwell. And in the story here, and I'm not going to give it all away, you can go to, and I really recommend that you download it. You can go to Gutenberg.org, and just search under Acres of Diamonds and get the story. And I'm not going to give away the whole story here, but suffice it to say that Russell Conwell was a Baptist minister, that he went around the U.S. About 150 years ago telling the story, which became known as Acres of Diamonds. And Temple University was founded because of his mission. It's the mission statement of Russell Conwell has been moved into because he was one of the founders of Temple University. But a really powerful story. And what I want you to just bring out is the fact, and you should read the story if you've never read it, or if you've already read it, read it as a quick read again before you go to bed this evening. But what I really like about the story, and it's a reminder to myself, and this was the big aha moment when I started thinking and considering about, do I want to do conferences or events? Because up until 3 years ago, I didn't do any. I've built a really cool lifestyle business. I can run it anywhere in the world. And yet, I'm very much a people person, and I'm an educator. And as I'm going to show you some of the concepts around what I advocate and how to fill your events and how to put speed into the process here very shortly, as I'm starting to look at, as the trends, the big change in the market, especially for you in the advice-based era, and I know that you're attending here because you're a coach, a consultant, or a trainer. You could be an author or would-be author. Maybe you want to start. You're in startup mode with your coaching, consulting, training, business, whatever. But the realities in today's marketplace is that you need to rethink everything you've been doing, and you need to do it right now. I've shared on a previous Google Hangout that this is the promotional age. This is the era when traditional sales and marketing no longer works. And as I was showing and teaching last night on our boot camp around building or how to create an executive summary that allows you to close deals 3 times faster with 1/12 the effort, which really will allow you when you perfect, or sorry, we won't use the word perfection. I sometimes let that slip because I was a perfectionist for so many years and cost me about $2.5 million because I really believe the root cause of perfectionism is overthinking. And so though I'm telling you all of this because in the story about that Russell Conwell tells, which is a true story, Acres of Diamonds, the thesis of the story is this, that you have all kinds of diamonds in your own backyard that you don't need to go anywhere else. And you definitely want to read the story if you haven't read it, or if it's been a long time, reread it because it's so powerful and you'll glean another truth in it. And all of you can read it in easily in 10-15 minutes. But the power of understanding that you've got diamonds in your own backyard is really, 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 really powerful concept. And in the advisory age, where so many people today want to build a lifestyle business and they want to come online, the problem is they have no momentum, or they're competing against a sea of sameness. So much noise. How are you going to stand apart? So that's why I'm a huge advocate that you create your own events. We're going to call them events right now because I don't think I'll be right up front right now and risk offending some of you that I believe that events and conferences simply have minimal effect in just about every industry today. And if you want to command premium prices for your highest end programs and services, and especially creating a really cool royalty structure, you've got to rethink and do things differently. All right, so that's crucial. So let's take a look here on why I brought up the concept of Acres of Diamonds. You are paid in the advisory age to leverage your own experiences. Leverage what you've learned through the School of Hard Knocks. Leverage your passions. All right? And so your real wealth does not come through formalized education. It comes through non-formalized education or informal education, which usually causes us the most consternation, the most pain and frustration in life, right? I gave out a program to you this past week. You can get it on many of you here are watching us because you're part of our LinkedIn group, our Lifestyle Entrepreneur Magazine, so I want to welcome you, or you're following me on Facebook or Twitter or wherever you're following me. But we gave away a really cool program last week. You don't need to opt in or anything like that, on how to analyze your advice. And so I want to spend a couple of moments here and understand the importance of realizing that you've got acres of diamonds in your own backyard. And I want to help you leverage that, okay? So let's build from this here for a second. First of all, you want to understand a concept that we teach called Just Ask. Just ask, all right? Ask is an acronym here, and it's one of our speed to market systems around helping our clients organize their advice. Organize their advice as a trusted advisor. Okay? So there is a more strategic way that you can be organizing your advice than you're probably doing right now. So let's go through that. Ask, just ask stands for the A, and just ask stands for the attitudinal domain. Okay? How you want your target market to see a problem. How you want a your target market to see a problem or a set of problems. All right. So sorry about moving around. Our ship isn't moving here. It's just me. And I got out of the gym a little while ago, working with my trainer, who put us through some pretty intensive paces here today. So the attitudinal domain comes down to how you want your target market to see its problems. This is crucial because as a trusted advisor, you've got to know how to frame and build the right context for step number 2 in our Just Ask program. And the K is the second step, and that's the knowledge domain. And what is it that you want your target market to see specifically? So if the attitudinal domain is how you want your target market to see the problem or the problems, the knowledge domain is what do you want your target market, TM here, target market, to see specifically. All right, you've got to help them put your glasses on how you see the world through your experiences, your advice, your passion, what you've learned through the School of Hard Knocks that's cost you a lot of money. And again, the action plan that I gave out last week is a really strategic way of beginning to help you analyze your advice so that you become a lot more strategic. All right. And then finally, the skills domain is, not sure why my red marker here, I think it's just because of the light here, it's kind of showing up orange. How you recommend your target market solves their problem or problems, okay? And this is where the real money is found. See if I back it up here, it's kind of disappeared, our red marker. There we are, skills domain, how you recommend your target market solves their problems. Okay, those are the only 3 teaching and learning domains in the coaching, consulting, training industry, in every single industry today. Only 3 things that can be taught and learned are the attitudinal domain, how you want your target market to see its problems, the knowledge domain, what it is that you want them to see specifically, and the skills domain, and that really leads to how you're going to position your premium price programs and services, right? Because it comes down to what are your specific recommendations to your target market for them to solve the problem. And this is the era, the advisory era, of doing it with your target market or doing it for them. And creating premium price programs and services all starts then, first of all, in creating your own, we're going to call them events right now, starts by understanding that you want to give yourself home court advantage. All right? And home court advantage often works. It worked, well, it was 1 for 2 yesterday if you think of NBA basketball. Brooklyn beat Toronto on their home court, so home court didn't do much for Toronto as much as I wanted to see the Raptors win. And then secondly, last night, or yesterday afternoon, San Antonio beat Dallas. So, and San Antonio had the home court advantage. So I want you to understand, though, generally speaking, the teams that have home court advantage usually win. And this is what I want you to understand, that you can win in your own backyard. And you can do it, you know, by following our Google Hangout processes and the systems that we teach. You can do it a lot faster if you're going to follow what I'm going to teach here around positioning your own, and we're going to just call them loosely here, events. All right. So let's move forward here. I'm going to go back here to Acres of Diamonds and make sure then again Gutenberg.org. You're going to watch that. If we take a look at, you know, myself, and I want to just show you 2 slides right here, who Glenn Dietzel is. He's mentor to the world's highest paid business coaches, consultants, experts, and advisors. And we've created a really cool system called Omega Mind, which is powered by New Guru Model, where we teach clients how to command maximum fees and royalties for high-priced programs. And 2 of the systems that we teach at our one-day intensives are coaching and co-branding and our mastermind monetizer system. All right? Now, what I want you to see right there is that if you understand some concepts that I'm going to teach you here in just a moment, modeling, and one of them is going to be modeling is the number one way that we learn. Modeling is the number one way that we learn. I run a really cool coaching and consulting program. We handle and work with a lot of clients globally. It doesn't require me to trade time for money. And that's why clients invest in our program, so they can follow my very specific systems and models around doing this. And what I've tested and proven is that in the advisory age, you can build your events. We're going to call them events right now, but we're not going to call them events in about 5 minutes. Okay, we're going to correct our terminology here, but we'll call them events right now. Okay, and you can create them in your own backyard, just like the principle behind Acres of Diamonds. And you can do them following exactly the way that I teach my clients, because I believe that modeling is the number one way that we learn. So it's one of the big reasons why clients invest in our programs and services. So what I want to show you, though, right now is that there's 3 things, though, before you run your own events that you need to do. Okay, and I just showed you 2 slides, 2 pictures on my desktop here to show you the importance of what I want to convey. There's 3 things that you need to create, and once you have them created, you're ready to go. And you can create these super quickly. First of all, you want to create your own brand. Okay, your own personal brand and your own company brand. All right, and associated with your own brand, so there's 2 types of brands. There's your personal brand and there's your company brand. Okay, and the reason why you want to build 2 brands is because you, as the leader of your company, and as you build and leverage our predictable, certain, and secure systems, you're going to get out in front of your company. And today's companies that are following accelerated growth, they have a leader, they have a business, president, CEO who's out above, in front of that company, leading. Not only leading the company, but leading by building his own or her own brand. Okay, so that's a really important concept. So when people ask me, Glenn, what should we develop, personal brand or a company brand? I say you need to develop both brands. You develop your personal brand because it's a brand you're always going to have. And secondly, and it's probably a brand you don't want to sell. And secondly, you want to have a company brand so you can, because what's the purpose of business? The purpose of business is selling your company. All right, so you want to build a strong brand and ensure that with that strong brand that you are going to create the necessary USPs or market differentiation. Okay, and last week spent time, I've disappeared here, there we are. Last week I spent time on how to develop a USP. It was a little bit technical, but I need you to understand that in the IP age, the intellectual property age in which we live, you've got to be a lot more strategic in how you think. I see so many people doing so many activities that when they come into our programs, I think, okay, you know what, we need to stop just about 100% of what you're doing. I mean, if we look at what you've done over the last 6 months, I hate to say it, but you've completely wasted your time. Well, you haven't wasted your time because you realize that what you're doing is just leading to greater frustration. So you've got to be a lot more strategic. All right, and I stressed that last week, that positioning and building your USP starts with the whole importance of positioning yourself and your company in the #1 predominant position in the marketplace. And you know what? It is so easy to do if you follow what I'm teaching, and it's easier to do it in your own local community in the offline world than it is in the online world. All right, now you can do it both ways, and for those of you that are clients of ours, you know that. But you know, I'm a huge advocate of leveraging the diamonds in your own backyard. Okay, and this is where the rubber meets the road for most entrepreneurs. They chicken out, they make some assumptions, faulty assumptions about accelerated business growth. They want to end up playing safe, and I'm thinking, like, why are you even in business? Not that you want to make risky decisions, but I truly believe that if you're following the traditional business funnel, you're not following what I'm going to be teaching here very shortly about what you should do with your events, how to position them. I can almost guarantee you won't stand out in today's marketplace. It is just so crowded, and I don't want to deflate anybody's bubble. here that's on an emotional high because you just read a great book about what you can do and what you can become. I spent 2.5 years spending about $65,000 reading books and getting all excited about what I could do, what I could become. And the reality is I was taking all the wrong action steps, and I was focusing in the wrong places. I was executing completely incorrectly. And what it was doing was just really creating a lot of frustration. And for me, and a huge, and a lot of consternation with my wife. Because I was spending more than what I was taking in a year as being a young vice principal with our school board back then. So I don't want to see you make those mistakes. So if we go back here just for a second, so we talked about building a company brand and building your personal brand, right? And I believe honestly that your greatest leverage in today's marketplace comes through creating your own strategically created events. All right, so let's go into this, and we're going to call it this. We're not going to call them events here. So, but what I want you to, I'm just showing you here an article in our Lifestyle Entrepreneur magazine. This is from our February issue on the Canadian Lake Home. And the reason why I'm showing you this is I shared some aha moments on how to do what I want you to now call, instead of events or conferences, intensives. Intensives, and some powerful aha moments when I started bringing clients in working with me at the Canadian Lake Home, where and when I started doing that, my wife was a bit concerned as to who would be coming in. And I want to share all of you a couple of things. First of all, if you have a great educational process and a great conversion system, you can bring all kinds of amazing people in globally. And there's not one person that's ever come in. The Canadian Lake Home, the Vegas Sandcastle, some of the different residences that we own. When I'm partial to the Canadian Lake Home because it's in my own backyard here. We live there. And it gives my wife a chance to meet my clients. It gives my kids a chance to learn from their dad and learn from my clients that come in all over the world. As I said, invariably, they're smarter than I am. And they've got skills that I'm just like, wow, I can't believe that I just, have this person who has been attracted to work with me. And I say that in all sincerity. I'm just blown away by the kinds of people that we bring in and the group of people that I've put together following this intensive model. That's what I want you to understand. You can't build the kind of relationships with people through seminars and conferences. And this is, remember, the trusted advisory age. This is all about building trust and positioning yourself as the advisor and making deeper and faster connections with people than what you could do at a conference or a seminar. You see, most conferences and seminars, all they are really, they're just a guise for hype, for somebody that is a very good motivational speaker. At the end of the day, there's virtually nothing that they can offer people. And the reason why I say that is because almost everybody that's come into our programs is invested in these kinds of programs, and they come in to us, they come to us a bit jaded. There's some distrust there already, and you have to have a system. If I'm finding that in my market, I guarantee you're going to find it in your market. So you have to have a better way and a different way than what your competitors are using. So you want to follow the intensive model. And I want to give out 5 rules right now around why the intensive model is so powerful. And the reason why I started doing intensives and bringing people to me was because I believe that modeling is the #1 way that we learn. Remember I told you that. Secondly, I wanted to continue to give myself home court advantage. Thirdly, I really wanted to model excellence in front of my kids. That's huge for me, especially with my kids being in high school now. And we had a company come to us about just almost a year ago now that said, Glenn, we really like your systems. We've been following you. We like to do a documentary on your processes. I'm thinking, well, now's the time for me to start doing what I've always wanted to do, and that was running intensives, where I bring entrepreneurs globally together, and they get a chance to learn directly from me, and they get a chance to model what other people are doing. And this is not a typical mastermind format. It's far from it. These are what I call intensives. So one-day intensives, and then I started building our Omega Mind program around 3-day intensives where my clients get a chance to come in, work with me with our systems, help them implement them, help them and see what other clients are doing. And it's grown so quickly. And faster than any event model that I've ever seen. And I've been in this industry now for 12 years. I've been on major stages all around the world. And I'll tell you right now that the industry has completely changed. And probably most of you already realize that, right? If you've been in business for any length of time, you know that building market traction is totally different. You're not getting the same results that you were a little while ago if you're following still the same model. So here's what I want you to understand: the power of creating your own one-day intensives. And you can do it really quickly. And here are some rules. So first of all, you want to choose a cool location to facilitate the learning. Okay, you want to create a learning environment. That's what your marketplace wants. My marketplace comes to me and they say, Glenn, I'm frustrated, I'm overwhelmed, I've got so much information, I just can't focus. I want to focus, but I can't focus in the way that I want. And what I'm doing is just frustrating the heck out of me because I'm ending up competing on price. I'm trying not to follow a traditional business funnel, but I'm stuck in it because I've spent so much money. And I understand that I want to create a following. And so I'm telling you that creating that following and that kind of positioning for yourself, following the intensive model, is really, really important. So choose a cool location, okay? Clients love the Canadian Lake Home because they come in, it's very relaxed, and yet it's intense. I'm the one who's got to focus. You're just there to come in and learn and absorb and see how I execute so you can do the same. I'm the one and that has to work because I've got to communicate what I need you to communicate. Second principle here is people want to be close to the source of momentum. Okay, that's the word momentum here. Okay, people want to be close to the source of momentum. It's crucial that you have momentum. You know, when people go to New York City, where do they want to all go first of all, right? They all want to go to Times Square. They want to be close to where the action is. And your marketplace wants to be involved in something intimate, bigger than themselves. Okay? Why? Because they want to be connected. They want to be connected. All right? As cool as these Google Hangouts are, this gives you and I really a chance to connect, not really in a meaningful way, because it's me communicating to you. You're listening to me. It's very one way. And there's not a chance for me to really sit and break things down the way that I want. And that's why clients were investing, when they started coming into the Canadian Lake Home, $25,000 for a one-day with me. And why clients move into our Omega Mind program so they can get the kind of even a better deal working with me in a group setting where they're with other Omega Mind members, where they can be more relaxed. And when you're more relaxed, you're more engaged emotionally. And that's crucial for all of you to realize. That's why you want to break the mold with the event model and create a way to engage your marketplace in a lot more meaningful way. Okay, so that you can do the following. Modeling is the number one way that we learn. Modeling is the number one way that we learn. All right, so you want to be able to model. And you want to model what I'm doing, not because I'm bright or brilliant, it's just probably because I've been doing this a lot longer than you, over 11,000 hours working in the trenches with clients in over 120 industries, and have what most experts and gurus will say today, and people that I trust will say that nobody has more case studies than Glenn Dietzel. Why? Because I'm a teacher. I'm passionate about what we do. I will always be in the coaching and consulting business. Ask my wife, and for those of you that have met her, you know, she'll tell you that. I'm not going anywhere. And I love what I do. And most importantly, I love the results that my clients get. Why? Because you want to position yourself and learn how to, and that's the power of what I teach, is how to leverage, sorry here, let me see if I can find, there we go. Leverage the trusted advisor era in which we now live. Okay? And events and seminars are were great in the information age. But in the advisory age, which is a lot more intimate and which requires you to be a lot more open, and requires you to know how to teach, it's crucial. And that's why I spent here at the beginning of our training event going through the 3 domains of learning: the attitudinal domain, the knowledge domain, the skills domain, and why that's so important at chunking your content. All right, so those are the 5 rules around creating your intensives. And if I come back here for a second and move here, we all want to attract high-end clients who pay high fees, right? I mean, that's why you're on these Google Hangouts. You want to work with fewer and bigger clients. The big money is in coaching, consulting, and masterminds. Coaching and co-branding and the mastermind model is what I believe you should build your intensives around. So there's only 2 types of intensives, or if you want to still call it event, but intensives are much different than events, and they're going to give you the kind of leverage, especially locally in your market, to create massive traction because you're doing something differently. All right, and you're doing something that nobody else is doing in the online world as well. But in the words of Russell Conwell from Acres of Diamonds, you've got diamonds in your own backyard, so why not start there? Why not leverage your own backyard? Why not leverage what I do? Leverage your own home. Leverage what you've got right underneath your nose right now, your experiences, your passion, what you've learned through the School of Hard Knocks. That's what your marketplace wants. They don't want more information. They certainly don't want more formalized education. They want the non-formalized education where the rubber meets the road. All right, so there's 2 types of intensives then that you should consider. Let's just make sure that we I go through this here with you as we wrap up today. So I'm going to show you the 2 types of intensives are the coaching and co-branding intensive. That's coaching and co-branding, and a mastermind monetizer model, which is a completely new way of doing masterminds where you don't even need to be the expert. Okay, this is pretty cool, and and the reason why I wanted to bring those up is because I want to help you. And I'm doing a 1-day intensive. Our next one's in June. And I want to challenge you to get outside of the box. I want to challenge you right now to do something that you're not doing. As I teach my clients, and I teach my own kids, this concept around the seam of success. The seam of success is found in what other people don't do, can't do, or wouldn't think of doing. The seam of success, especially apropos to the coaching, consulting, and training world, is focusing on what other people don't do, can't do, or wouldn't think of doing. And there is nobody doing the kind of intensives that I teach, leveraging a coaching and co-branding model, and leveraging a mastermind monetizer model. So if you would like some more information around and specific advice around my next 1-day intensive and get on the early notification list, just go to newgurumodel.com/1day. Okay, you'll see it right there, newgurumodel.com/1day. You can get on the early notification list. This is a screenshot from the website here. Just shot this here for you. And I wrote down the URL, newgurumodel.com/1day. All right, and the power of this 1 day is that you get a chance to work with me for an entire day. You get to see how I run my company. You get to learn from me all of my specific systems that I use, how I operate, run my company, and most importantly, this is a day for you to come and focus on your own business. I have had people from all over the world come in for our 1-day intensives. It absolutely revolutionizes their thinking, and everything I teach is 100% proprietary, and I always let everybody know you can Google any of my concepts that I teach, and cover. You can't find it anywhere. And I know that there are people that are following what I'm doing. And I know there are going to be people that are trying to rip us off. And that's why I shared on a previous Google Hangout the importance of building a moat and really making it a prerequisite for you to understand that you need to focus in on the two competitive advantage domains that we covered a couple of Google Hangouts ago around building your moat, your protection in your industry, and focusing on everything you do, only the activities that bring you true business acceleration. And if you follow our one-day intensive model, which our Omega Mind program is built around, and Omega Mind is sponsoring the next one-day business acceleration event that I'm doing, or a business acceleration intensive that I'm doing, I want to encourage and challenge you to get out of the constraints of doing things which you're doing the way you're doing them right now. And I want to challenge you to step out of your comfort zone, challenge you to challenge your assumptions about success. And if you're one of those people that's really ready to take focused outcome-driven action, you'll definitely want to go to newgurumodel.com/one day. So let me just put that back up here for you again. That is the link, and I would highly recommend. There's everybody that's come in to my one-day intensives have all left saying it was the best thing they've ever done in their business, and they've witnessed true business acceleration for the entire day. And I'm going to show you my systems, my processes, our better conversion systems than anybody else, how you flip the funnel, how we close deals, a lot of our very strategic tools that we teach our own clients. You'll be able to take a look at all of that with the eyes towards your own business. So anyways, I really enjoyed spending time together here on our business Google Hangout Business Breakthrough Google Hangout, and I look forward to spending time with you again on our next Business Breakthrough Google Hangout. Have a great one, everyone, and I really trust and hope that our paths cross sooner than later.